Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Hey, adventure enthusiast. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
How's
What's the
it
time
going?
there? I don't know. What's the time
It's
there?
7:45.
Oh my God. Okay.
Hey, Devo.
How are
Yeah,
you?
I know. I need to make sure that the time differences work in Sri Lanka as well. So like my live sessions go until about 11:30 in the night, and then and then I go to sleep at about 2 o'clock.
Wow.
But yeah, how's your day been? How are you doing with staying at home?
Staying at home, busy with work. We actually have to work from home now.
Yeah. Fair enough, fair
Okay.
enough. But yeah, let's get started. Like, I wanna know all about you because like you've been following me for like I feel like ages, like since the very beginning. I feel like. But Shenali, thank you so much for making the time to come today. She's
My,
awesome. She spreads a lot of positivity on her platform, but she also loves to travel and to write as well. But she's also a lecturer. So I don't
yeah.
understand how you do all of these things and still like get time to like relax and sleep. But for the people who don't know what you do and who are just visiting now, like, tell us all about you.
Okay, yeah. First of all, yeah, I started doing all these things. The first thing was I started blogging, and then I stepped into blogging in the sense Insta, and then I stepped into creating my own website and writing all sorts of stuff and all. And then I moved into lecturing while I was like traveling and all. But to be honest, I like for the past few months I couldn't travel anywhere, to be honest, because of the busy schedule and all. But anyway, yeah, it's like everything comes together when you really visualize yourself in certain positions. Like I really didn't even know that I would become a lecturer. It was by chance that happened. All of a sudden, it all became true, and yeah, I'm so
What
grateful
do you
for that.
teach? What do you teach
I'm
in Kandy,
I'm
right?
no
In
Bambalapitiya.
Negombo.
In
Oh, what
Bambalapitiya.
really?
Yeah. So I am a business management lecturer. I'm an assistant lecturer actually. Yeah, it's been 5 months.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really good. So like I know that your home is from Negombo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because yeah. So then I was wondering, okay, I thought you were teaching there as well, but this is interesting. But like how are you teaching now? Like have you guys taken a break now or do you still do like
No, no, no,
online?
no. Online. We do it through Team, MS Team software. Yeah, that's the.
So
Anyway,
how has that been? Like have the students been like coping properly?
uh, actually, yeah. I think they're also bored at home, so they have nothing to do. They're like enjoying lectures now.
That's interesting because the thing is now I'm also a student here, right? So like everything has been moved to online. And
But
like for
it's
me, like even though I have so much time on my hands, like I mean, not so much time on my hands, but like even though I have more time because there's no travel involved and all of those things, I still
mhm.
feel lazy. Like I feel lazy.
Oh yeah.
Is that the
I
same with
feel
you, or how do you remain productive during this time?
I'm lazy too because I feel like, oh my God, I have to drag myself to this again, again. But anyway, we have a schedule and we have to fulfill those things as well. Otherwise, at the end of the day, even if you were lazy at that moment, at the end of the day, when you reflect your day, what you have been doing and all, you feel kind of dissatisfied. Okay, I couldn't give my best today. So because of that
I don't know.
fear, of course, I try to be on time. I try to do all those things. Kind of, it's like a fear is guiding me in a way.
That's interesting that you said that because different people have different motivators. So for me, it's not fear. If someone tries to make me scared, I'll be like, this is not motivating me. I cannot deal with this situation right now. But like for
Okay.
some people, fear really works. But I also want to ask, like, yes, fear is one of your motivators, but one of the things you love to do is travel as well. So how are you
Yes.
coping with not being able to travel now and go around as well?
It's really difficult to deal with that actually. Since I started my work, I had to I didn't have time, to be honest. I really didn't have time. So whenever I was able to, on my off days, I at least go to Nigambo town and like walk around and eat out and all those stuff. But to be honest, I'm dying till this curfew is over so I can start traveling again. It's so hard. It's really hard, but I'm using that time on investing myself, you know, reading
I
and
mean,
researching and all.
yeah, so like that's the other interesting thing, like after a month of doing these things, like I feel like people are saying if you don't come out of this situation with like one new thing learned, or like you learning how to manage time, and I'm just like, look, sometimes it's okay to like come out of this thing like with the same person you were, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
You don't have to like put pressure on yourself to be this person, be that person. You don't have to put pressure on everything, right? You just take time, relax, do whatever you like, watch a movie, just chill at home. Just think this is a good time for you to have yourself finally. Okay, like you don't have to like, okay, I'm going to learn coding, going to learn like development and stuff, I'm going to learn these new things, otherwise people might judge me, I've been wasting time this whole month and all. No, nothing like that. Just take time for yourself. uh, have a good time with yourself, because anyway, we've been so busy for the past 25 years, and now finally we have time for ourselves, and that's a good thing. That's a way of looking at this particular pandemic in a positive way, I guess.
some people more than 25 years, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
We're not all 25 here, but no,
Okay,
no.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, because the thing is, like, I understand. Okay, a lot of people are trying to be productive, and a lot of people are learning new things, which is great. Like, it's great for me. I'm just trying to keep my mental sanity in place, and that means, like, for me, I'm less productive than I normally am, and it's just for me, if I can get through this by just like keeping sane, like that is like an achievement for myself, like that's completely fine. If you want to like play video games and keep yourself occupied and just get out of this
Yeah,
situation,
exactly.
it's okay. Like it's not a bad thing, as long as you balance it out with like keeping yourself healthy, eating the
Yeah,
right things,
exactly.
sleeping the right times. As long as you can do that, I think it's not
Yeah,
it's
that's one
it's
of the
not a
main
bad thing.
concerns that you should have. You should be healthy right now. You should eat well, you should sleep well, and you should keep your, even though we like refer health as to the physical aspects, I think mental health is also very important right now, I guess. I believe that because
Absolutely.
uh, with the stuff going on around us, and it's so hard to keep a straight face. We hear these things, okay, this person died because of this reason, and these much of people were arrested. I don't know, because especially for me, my dad is a police officer. So whenever he calls, he's like sharing information and everything. And I was like, Tati, don't tell anything again to me. I like want to maintain my peace of mind. Don't tell anything.
I agree. Like today I was on a team call with my university groupmates, and I could hear the news in the background of one of their earphones. And I was
Okay.
just like, "Hey, when you're not talking, can you mute yourself? Because like hearing like the news makes me super anxious." And I'm just like,
Yes.
"Look, as long as I just see the good news and the recovery and all of those things, I'm fine. Like I don't need like I'm not trying to be insensitive towards what's going on around the world. Just for my
Yeah, I
mental health, I would
understand. Yeah.
rather just receive like good news to keep me going, like instead of receiving bad news after bad news after bad news. But
Yeah, because after
before we
all,
touch on to, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
because rather than like putting our energy into something that we can't control, it's better if we keep ourselves occupied with the things that we have right now. So it's
Absolutely,
better.
absolutely, 100% agree. So I want to get to know you better because, like I said, like you've been like supporting me like for the longest time. Like I don't know, maybe like from like 2014, 2015. I feel like
I don't really remember.
I don't
I
remember
don't
either, but
know. Since
I
I
just know that you've
started,
been supporting me for the longest time.
since I started using Instagram, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so like my question,
I really started following you because you had really cool food food posts and all, and then you kind of like moved on to this all mental health and positivity, self development, and all sorts of stuff that I was really interested in also. And this is a fangirl moment, okay? I'm really a huge fan of you.
Oh my God. No, no, I
Okay.
hate it when people say that because it's just like, I don't know. I don't see myself as anyone like, because even my friend called me the other day and she was just like, she was like saying like all the messages I received and stuff like that over the TEDx talk. And I was like, she was like, people see you as this influencer. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I'm just like, I would love to like just meet people and like, I don't think I'm like above anyone. Like, that's not the definition of influencer. But at the same time, just like,
You don't
I
feel
don't
like
know.
you're an
I
influencer.
just want everyone to see me as a friend. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Okay,
want people
yeah.
to see me like anything different than that. But I don't know. That's a topic for another day. But I want to know how you got your love into travel and also how you talk about facing fears and you talk about different things when it comes to motivation and self-development. Why are those two things very important to you?
Traveling is important to me because my whole family is travel addicts, are travel addicts. You know, whenever my dad gets his holidays and all, once a month for sure, we go anywhere that we can. Okay, so since I was a kid, I've traveled all like around the border of Sri Lanka, Jaffna, Trinco, Batiklu, and all sorts of stuff.
That's
Even though I don't have pictures right now because I was so small, so that actually got me into traveling. That's the reason for that. And I really loved traveling because every time I travel, I got to experience something new. I mean, I got to meet new people, even though they were like, they were living a very normal lives. They had stories to share. And I remember I shared this special post about a person who was like selling drinks on the road, and he had like two or three daughters at home and they couldn't study or do anything. So like for the sake of like surviving in this on this earth, he's doing something like that, and it was a huge inspiration. And it was at that point I felt so grateful. We have all these things but we spend less time appreciating all those stuff. Actually, I started appreciating my life after I got into traveling, I guess. That that way I got into writing and all sorts of motivation and stuff. For motivation, fear and all, there's a huge backstory out there. It's a long story actually. One of them I really shared with you in that kind uh, kindness moment, like movement of kindness, or that
the Be Kind
hashtag
movement.
project be kind moment. Yeah, in that moment, yeah, I shared one of them that day. Yeah,
I
those are the
remember.
reasons actually.
Amazing. And yeah, like when it comes to eye-opening situations, right? Like we all have certain eye-opening situations in our lives. Like you had an eye-opening situation when you met that man. And like for
Yeah,
me, like I've had quite a few as well, but like in a sense, like your dad, my mom have made us see the world different, I feel like.
yeah, exactly.
When it comes to treating other people and stuff like that. So like let's talk about treating other people, especially during this time, right? If you had to if you had to think about how you can treat people better during this time, how what are some of your tips?
Be there for people, I would say. Even though you can't be there for them physically, just if you receive a call, we know we like sometimes we have to ignore certain phone calls because you might be feeling bad or feeling down, but as much as possible be there for others. Even myself, for the past 3 to 4 days of time, I've been really stuck with this thought that I felt like I was off of my track. Okay, so I couldn't do the things that I used to do in a very productive way. And I was like, I talked to a friend of mine, and we got into this conversation. It was really eye opening. It is like it's good to have someone else's perspective in your life to see things differently. And when you finally get clarity, okay, this is why these things are happening. So it was a huge relief for me. I really felt good about it. And then I was like, okay, this is what I have to do now. And thank you so much. And she was being kind to me. Okay, and I want to be kind in that particular way to someone else, right? So that is
Yeah.
why recently I couldn't create any content because I was really spending time with myself. I didn't spend that much time on communicating and all, but so I learned so many things that you have to have yourself in order to serve others, in order to be kind to
That's
one another. You have to have yourself first. So everything starts within you. So otherwise you can't just go around and help others if you're not steady, if you're not like, you know, you know what I mean. It is so
absolutely.
hard.
No, I agree. And like, here's the thing, right? Okay, so you've come you've developed yourself so much over the past years, and like you've given yourself the same love that you give other people, which is all good. But like, there could be still some moments now, or even like if you could speak to some moments back in the day that you were just like, this is too much, like I've been having those moments every day since this virus hit, and since I've been at home. I've been having this moment like where it's just like, I think like I see all these people like among the all of these people like being super productive and just waking up in the morning with like motivation to go and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I can't do that, like I'm not you. Like I understand that like you're doing those things, which is awesome. I'm not speaking against it, but like every day since this virus started, I've like felt overwhelmed. So like, what I want to ask is, what do you personally do to like get out of those situations?
To be honest, I do understand how you feel because I was feeling the same. What I would do is I take small steps forward. Let's say I want to meditate, I just meditate for like 3 to 4 minutes, and then I feel like it's an achievement. Okay, I did meditate, so that's a good thing. And on the other day, I just do a small workout, and that's another achievement. Like step by step, baby steps I'm taking, but still it makes an impact, a huge impact. I feel like okay, I was productive in a way. Okay, not like other people. I don't have to compare myself. This is what I want. That's what they want, and this is what I want. So without confusing that thing, without getting confused in all those chaos, just focus on what you want, what is your priority, and go for it. Like that's it's so hard. It's like easy to say, but it's so hard to do. But when you put yourself into that particular, that system, it automatically takes you to another level, I guess. And
Yeah, true. I
another
think
thing,
go ahead.
something very recently, in the sense for the past 2 to 3 months, what I've been doing is whenever I wake up, I ask myself a set of questions, and I kind of write it down sometimes, and or else I like do it in a thought process and all. The first thing I ask is who am I, and what am I here for? Uh, what do I want in my life, what matters the most in my life, and what does not matter the most in my life. So you get some sort of a clarity when before you start the day, so you can go on with that guideline.
Amazing. Yeah, it's like affirmations, like writing down little affirmations that like help you get through it.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and I want to ask also like, what do you think about, for example, I just put out something that Bakamoon and I are working on. I'm actually behind. They're like 5 days ahead of me. But like today's research was showing like, what do you think about like cyberbullying and stuff like that? What are your personal opinions on that? Because I feel like, especially being a woman on Instagram, you get a lot of like unnecessary messages. You get a lot of like unnecessary like hate as well. I'm not sure if you've gotten hate or unnecessary messages, but like, what do you personally think about those?
One of the most frequent like thoughts that has been like crossed my mind was like I've received messages regarding this like for months. I've been receiving this type of things. Whenever I post something related to my personal experience, these people are like back like attacking me. They're like they say I'm seeking attention. I'm seeking attention, so that I'm like putting out the content out there and like acting like I'm all this whole positive person. I'm not human, sorts of things. Like you're trying to be in this influencer thing. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm just sharing my story out there. Whenever I share something, I feel relieved because someone else might be going through something like that, similar to that. Because I've been for the past 25 years, I've faced a lot of things, and I believe that all of us have different stories. All of us, okay? You have a different story, and I have a different story. It doesn't mean that your problem is bigger than mine and my problem is bigger than yours. For our capacities, our problem is huge. We have to deal with it, right? So whenever I post something, especially when I posted about this fear, uh, I think it was few months ago, someone like approached me in DMs and he was like, okay, you want to show it off that you are a lecturer now and you're like acting like you're sharing a story. I really don't see the point of that. It's like, but at first I was like, it was so hard to believe. Can someone be that dumb? Like to seek attention to by sharing something that you feel insecure about? It's so hard.
Yeah,
It was so
I
hard.
know. Yeah, and I'm sorry to hear that you're going through those things because, like even recently when I went through that whole, I don't know, you would have seen in the comment, the whole commenting on my, yeah. So like that was very interesting. I think hate comes from weird places. I think hate comes from insecurity. I think the
Yeah,
main
I
reason
agree with
hates
you.
come from people are insecurity, and I think hate should always be treated with compassion because it confuses people. Because especially in Sri Lanka, we're used to fighting back, and people are used to like people like fighting back as well. And it's very interesting to see that as well. So like that's why I'm like compiling enough data to see like what type of what type of cyberbullying happens, where does it come from, and how we can like change like the narrative, especially in Sri Lanka as well.
Because
As a
the,
lecturer,
the
when you teach kids, like what is your perspective with them? Like, are they attentive in class? Like, do they want to learn, or is it just like they're just there for the moment?
some of them really want to learn. They have these dreams and goals they want to achieve, but there are few kids that they're doing it for the sake of doing it, just because their parents force them to do it, just because they can't go on with their dream paths. Some because I'm teaching business management, so someone else, that some of my like one of my kids might want to be an artist, just because their parents don't accept it. He's just coming into the class and just sitting there and go. But whenever I get a time, I just talk to them personally. I really have a person like in-person relationship with them, because I'm 25 and they're also some sort of around 20, and also we are like friends. So it's good in a way. We get to share things. So whenever I get time, I tell them to follow their hearts. It's hard. I know it's really hard. Even when I was a blogger, from my family, there wasn't that, I didn't have that much support. But once I started doing all this stuff, and when people come and recognize, okay, you wrote this post, and it really felt like you talked to me. At that moment, I felt like I achieved something. I did something, at least in a very small way. So whenever I get time, yes, there are students who do it for the sake of doing, and there are students who don't have any idea what's going to happen. So different mentalities are there. But we can't just judge people because of they behave in a certain way, right? They might have different stories. They might have different reasons. One of the biggest examples is there's a student in my class, uh, one of my past batches. He was like always late to classes and not very attentive. He's doing all sorts of stuff and all. And twice I really warned him, please be in the class, please pay attention, otherwise it's going to be waste of time and money of both, okay, your parents and yours. To my surprise, he's one of the students that scored best in the exams. So that was a lesson for me. That was an eye opener, because we can't judge a person just because they're behaving in a certain way, right? And I came home and told my mom also, Mommy, I did something like this and I feel really, really bad now. And it was such an eye opener, because it was my very first time, to be honest, as a lecturer. My very first job, of course. Um so, yeah, people have different stories, people have different backgrounds. We can't judge them. I don't judge people. I try my
I
best.
think the biggest thing out of what you said was like you're being empathetic towards what they might be feeling and what their position is, and you try and help as much as possible. And just to answer Buggy's question, we spoke about travel, we spoke about being a lecturer, and Shenali's love for travel, and we're speaking about cyberbullying and judgment and stuff right now. And yeah, I think the thing is, the more I've spoken to people, I think the more we can change how people think is through education, and I think educating them at a young age as well. I
Yeah,
think people
exactly.
are slower to learn when they're our age or when they're like older. I think they're much slower to learn because they're used to growing up a certain way and with certain beliefs. But I think if it starts at a young age, especially when it comes to sexual harassment, when it comes to mental health, when it comes to sexual inclusion, like LGBTQIA plus rights, and also when it comes to cyberbullying and all of those things, I think it's like very important topics that should be taught in education systems, but it's not there yet. Yet we will change that. We will definitely change that.
Yeah, that's
But
an, and when the about the hate comments that you received very recently that you've been sharing, and one of the things that I had to like, I want to edit at this because just because you don't see something, it doesn't mean that it's not there, right? Because just because you don't see a surface level connection between these suicides and these problems and all, it doesn't mean that it's not there. Okay, because to be honest, this is the very first time. It's, I don't know, I don't know why I feel like sharing this in this platform at this particular point. I've been suicidal twice in my life, and one of those moments are very recent. Uh, I really couldn't figure out a reason for that, and up until now, I'm struggling why I felt that way. And just like you had a friend physically there for you, but I had a friend like at that moment I got a call and got into talking. I think it was my time. Like, my the friend was there and I got into talking and I cried. I couldn't figure out what it was. But I think in a way, for the past 25 years I've been hiding small emotions like where I couldn't express myself fully. I've been hiding those things for all those years, and it has come to a point where I feel like exploding. I can't take it anymore. I want to share it, but I don't know how to share it. I don't know how people would understand. I don't know if people would understand at all. But in a way, talking helped. And it got my mind onto another thing. And I don't know. I am still like wondering what was the reason at that point? What was the reason?
Yeah,
And
and I'm firstly like I'm not going to say I'm sorry to hear that because you're here now and you chose to live, which is the most important thing. But on top of that, the fact that you reached out sometimes, not well, most of the time, to be very honest. Every time I speak to someone who's gone through this, like especially me, um, when someone hears me, like actively hears me, it helps. It really helps me
yes,
get out of that situation.
yes,
Like
don't
sometimes people
talk.
just want to
Just
be,
stay on the call. Stay on the call. Just
yeah,
listen to me.
yeah,
Nothing.
that's it. That's it. That's absolutely it. And I think even for you, like have you considered like seeing a counselor or a therapist or anything?
No, because I wasn't I'm not open about it that much because I have to like I want to talk to my parents about it and all. I'm still figuring out what's happening, what's going on inside my head, because otherwise I can't really explain things to people. Even like I'm trying to explain things. I'm bad at explaining things. I believe that I'm answering all your questions, right?
Yes,
Uh,
yes, you are. And like this is the reason I asked you is I'm not convincing you. I'm not in this game to like convince you to
yeah,
do
yeah.
anything or anything. But like for me, um, when I went for counseling as well, I didn't know how to explain my situation, right? I
Okay.
didn't know how to articulate what I was going through because I didn't know what the hell I was going through. You know, the first two times I was suicidal, I knew. The third time, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I knew, like, okay, since I don't know how to explain these situations and where these panic attacks are coming from, I need to go and see help. And she made me understand. She first studied who I was and figured
Mm.
out like what type of person I was, what I loved, what I hated, what my resentment was, what my insecurities were, all of those things, and then help me out, you know. But like it personally helped me. But the thing is, like I said, it's probably may not work for you, and it may not be a thing for you. Maybe it's like friends and family who are going to like help you like figure this out. You know what I mean? But it's just like
Yeah, yeah.
I always like tell people be open to it. Like be open
Mm-hmm.
to the option of like trying it out. You know, you never know what could come out of it.
Yeah, nothing's gonna happen just because you try, right? Yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
good suggestion. Thank you. I would try that.
Okay, so I only have two more questions for you.
Okay.
My first question is, when this whole thing dies down and like when the recovery period happens and when traveling is opened up again, where is the first place you will go?
The first place I wanna go is there's this elephant rock in Kurunagala. I've been dying to see the sunrise, watch the sunrise on top of that rock. And for the first thing I would do is to go there. But for sure I will do that. Because
Amazing,
sunrise and new beginnings. Again, it's like a new beginning, right? We've been like at home, you know.
amazing. And
That
do
would
you
be first
normally
place.
travel alone or do you travel with people?
No, with friends or family, not alone.
Amazing. And like, okay, so I have one more question before the last question. Most people say that they can't travel because they don't have the right group of friends, right? So most people like there are people that don't like travel, they like to stay home or socialize and stuff like that. But there are people who are in those friend circles who really want to try new things, right? What would
Yeah.
your advice be to those people?
Uh, I really believe that your tribe is very important for whatever you do, even for traveling. Because if you're in a like in a, if your spirit is very adventurous, like to explore new things and discover new things, you want to have a certain set of people around you, and also you can get someone out of that cage who is not comfortable with traveling also. It's just the way you talk, it's just the way you communicate and the way you influence that person. It doesn't matter that person doesn't like traveling or not. When you like give that person the perspective, okay, when you travel, just to try once, when you travel you feel the difference. Just ask them, you know, go with whoever you want to, just go, just travel. Travel will change people. I believe that changes people a lot.
I agree because like one of my closest friends, Kieran, who didn't travel with us for the longest time, and then when he did it for the first time, he was just like, "This is a nice way of just relaxing and not thinking about work." And then from then on,
Exactly.
after I left, like they have found their own travel group and they go like almost every weekend. And now I'm just like, can you just like wait for me, please? But like,
Yeah, yeah.
but I completely agree. Traveling actually opened up a big part of my life. It got me out of my house. It got me to show new areas of Sri Lanka, but also in other parts of the world. And I think like giving it a try is also necessary. But the thing is, like, what I believe is if your friend circle is not open to travel, it's okay to have another friend circle that travels,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and you keep your current friend circle. Like it's you don't have to force anyone to do anything. You convince and you communicate, like you said.
Yeah.
Try to convince them because traveling does change people's lives. I truly believe it. But at the same time, if the group is not open to it, that's okay. Like you can still do your own thing as well. You can find your own travel buddies, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. The people around you
but good.
doesn't have to agree with everything, right? It's just
Absolutely, absolutely.
appreciate
There's
the
so many
unique
people around.
differences.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there's so many like travel groups and so many options that you can try out to like travel as well.
Yeah, we are living
Um,
in a like this digital, uh, digital era, and we can like connect with
yeah,
people. You can build your
absolutely,
own tribe to travel.
absolutely. So, Shenali, I have only one more question for you, and I don't know if you know this question, but it's the last question I ask every single guest.
Okay.
But I want to ask you, what does kindness mean to you in your life?
Kindness is accepting people for themselves, accepting yourself for who you are, and accepting others for who they are, and not judging them just because they behave in a certain way in for a for a second they might like snap, they might go out of their way, they might go out of track, you might not understand why, but still don't judge, because I
Absolutely. You are enough. You are
yeah,
definitely enough.
exactly.
There are two questions. Hasdi, you can ask a question, man. Or girl. Sorry. Trishi, what would be your advice for people who love traveling and have strict parents? So, okay, this is an interesting question. So, I would say if you, depending on your age, I guess, like if you really, really can't convince them, you really, really can't convince them if it's like that extent, right? You like your parents will never ever let you go out, and that's how strict they are, and like they're just like you're under my roof, you're under my money, you can't travel. Then come to a point where at least yes, one is you travel with you, try and convince them to travel with you, so you can show them how awesome it is.
Yeah,
But if they don't travel with you, if they don't like traveling and they're really busy with work, when you start earning your own money, try and do it with your own money, right?
yes,
I would say try and say like you're going to a very safe place with like friends that you know, the friends' parents are coming. Like all of those things can be an introductory factor to letting you go on traveling. Like the friends' parents are coming, the friends are coming. It's a completely safe environment. And then when you break that barrier of going on that first trip, after that the second trip becomes easier, and then the third trip becomes
yeah,
easier, and then the fourth trip becomes easier, right? Because you show them that you're independent enough to travel with
yes,
friends and
exactly. I
the
agree with you.
parents. But then second trip can be with friends and the parents again. Third trip can be just friends. Fourth trip
And
can be
with
just friends. Fifth trip can be yourself. You never know.
yeah, without even without knowing, it will happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think the biggest thing is they're scared because you have to look at it from the parents' point of view, right? They're just
Yeah,
protecting you.
exactly.
Even when they're telling you a particular career to follow and all of those things, they're just protecting you, right? But like definitely, just give it a try. Just convince them, saying I'll go with my friends and their parents, and then they get comfortable. The whole point is making them feel comfortable that you're safe. That's the main thing from me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I when you explain it that way, it makes more sense, It has this whole perspective from parents' side also. When we were young, we were like, okay, I mean, let me go. Please let me go. We were annoyed, like, right? When they don't let us do things. But now we understand that they've always trying to like try to protect us from certain things. And yeah, the way you told was perfect. Yes, convince your parents to go with you. And if not, just be patient and save up. And someday you'll enjoy your life the way you want. And yes, that's my
It's,
tip is.
there is no age barrier to travel. I didn't travel to out of Colombo like that I remember and properly enjoyed until I was 23. You know, some people haven't still traveled out of Colombo, out of their home, right? I didn't get to travel to another country till I was 24, 25. That was my gift from my mom to me because I did well in my education for university, right? And that was a solo travel. Like my first time abroad was a solo trip. So I was shitting my pants, but I did well. But the thing is, it's okay. Like the world isn't going anywhere, right? We're more digitally connected now to see what else is out there and stuff like that.
Yes,
You can always make time to like travel wherever you want to travel. Just don't
yes,
don't
exactly.
pressurize yourself. Don't pressurize yourself. As soon as you have the
Just
opportunity, you
take
will
it
do it.
slow. Take it slow. Baby
Absolutely.
steps matters.
Absolutely. Shenali, it has been an absolute honor. I need to rush off and get prepared for the next guest who's going to be an absolute
I
riot.
totally understand. I'm
But
so
like,
sorry if, I'm so sorry if any of your questions were not answered properly.
no, you
I'm
did.
really new.
No, no. Chill. Yo, you answered them beautifully. All good. You keep doing what you're doing and just know that help is out there if you ever need it. Don't be in this dark place alone. I reach out whenever I need to as well. Like to as much as I can, I handle my personal health, mental health on my own because I don't trust anybody else except for my counselor or therapist. So, but the thing is, if you have someone like that, talk to that person. Okay.
Yeah,
So just know that you can message me as well. But for now,
I know.
thank you so
And thank you
much
so
for coming on the
much.
show.
Thank you so
Like I
much for
love
giving me this
finally like
opportunity. It was like,
no worries. I love
it
like
was
virtually
like,
meeting you.
yeah, it was like a dream came true, and I really met you once in Sri Lanka, and that was before you, went to Australia, I guess,
Where
right?
did you
Just a
meet me?
few. Why you gave me the big bad wolf tickets pass, the free pass.
Yes,
Oh my God.
I remember that. I remember that. Okay,
Yes,
yeah, I remember that. That's so funny. But
yes.
yeah, Shenali, thank you so much. I
And
just
thank
want
you
you
so
to
much.
leave by saying where we can find you in terms of social media, any interesting articles from your blog that's coming up, or anything you want to talk about, and also any final thoughts.
My final thoughts. Okay, first of all, anyone can find me on Instagram because I'm not that active on Facebook. Uh, Instagram and my blog, the website is the only two platforms that I'm available. Uh, if you go to my Instagram bio, there's my website link, and something exciting is coming up regarding the food misconceptions. Uh, something I did with Food Doctor, uh, Dr. Natalie, and so yeah, it would help a lot of people to to learn more about it. And final thoughts would be just invest in yourself, just accept yourself. Everything starts within you, because if you're not ready, if you're not accepting yourself, no matter what other people do to make you feel happy, you won't feel like you won't feel the happiness in yourself, and eventually you will make them also feel bad about themselves. So while being yourself, you give permission to others be themselves as well. So invest in yourself, be yourself, impress yourself. That's it. Thank you so much.
Hey, amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Actually, I was like, this is a dream came. This is something. Final thoughts. Please don't hate me for wasting your time.
No, no, I don't. Take your time.
I'm a huge fan of visualizing things, okay? And whenever I have these dreams and plans in my head, I kind of like interview myself like someone is interviewing me, okay? And that dream today, it came true because of you. And thank you so much for that, okay? I
No
know it's
problem.
kind of crazy. I know it's kind of like, childish, but I do that and I believe that in visualization. It does come through.
Sometimes you got
Thank
to
you.
think it and you got to picture it to achieve it.
Yes.
And that's true.
And it became
And
true. This is an example.
keep speaking, keep speaking. You did awesome. You did awesome. And I think you have a lot to give towards social media. Lot more people like you should start speaking. And the proudest thing for me is out of these live sessions, so many more people are doing videos now. So many more people have been called to like talk to in shows and stuff like that, which is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, you're being an inspiration, and another thing, this was one of my biggest fear. Being live.
Nice. And you did it.
Yes, and I did it. That's why I said yes in the very first session.
Amazing.
Okay, I have to face this. I have to face this, and I have to get over it.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Thank you. I can't thank you enough for
I
that.
this is a very small platform that I want people to springboard and do more things. That's it. That's it.
You do it. You really rock. As I always say, you inspire. Keep rocking. God bless you. And I
Amazing.
wish you all the very
Shenali,
best for everything, for the upcoming projects, anything. Everyone, I'll be supporting you throughout.
thank you so
Thank
much. Thank you so much. That's all I ask
and
for.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Shenali. Have a beautiful day. I will talk to you soon. Remember,
Yeah,
DM's always
sure.
open. Don't be in that dark place alone. Let's
Thank you
keep
so much.
talking.
Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
You guys have Shenali. She's been following me for like a long, long, long time. Show her some support, show her some love. She's doing some awesome stuff when it comes to travel and inspiring people as well. So please show her some love. I would love for you guys to just like follow more people that is positive on your Instagram feed. You need more people making you feel good instead of making you feel insecure. And I truly, truly believe that. And I think I've spoken to so many people that do exactly that. So guys, I will be taking a quick 3 minute break. I will be having like a bit of water, and then we got a riot. We got it absolutely. I don't know what's going to happen in the next show. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So please join in about